next year. I don't have to emphasize its competence, which was amply demonstrated yesterday by his presentation. In the characteristic Japanese modesty, he said he is the author of a book which is only 800 pages. But that is an enormous accomplishment. And certainly apart from his scholarly abilities and his already well demonstrated judicial capabilities at the International Court of Justice, we should have no doubt, really, to consider him seriously for extending his position when the elections come next year. ALCO has always been working very closely with our Japanese colleagues and friends. We have active members at the Secretariat, but we have also been beneficiaries of the great assistance that has been extended to our organization. Your Excellency Ambassador, you have been in Tanzania for only a few months. I first met with you in Tokyo last year. Was it last year or earlier this year? And I welcomed you, and already in your limited presence, you have made a tremendous impact on the bilateral relations between Tanzania and Japan. But also through the venue of ALCO, we trust you continue to send positive messages to your government and continue to support our organization. Thank you very much for your generosity and for inviting us to this dinner tonight. This invitation. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, allow Ambassador of Japan to Tanzania and the host of this event this evening for his welcoming remarks, and to invite His Excellency Justice Iwasawa for his remarks. Your Excellency, Ambassador Goto, karibu sana.
Honorable Dr. Augustin Philippe Mahiga, Minister of Constitutional and Legal Affairs. Honorable Mr. Faris J. Mwalimu, Minister of Constitutional and Legal Affairs, Revolutionary Government of Zanzibar. His Excellency Professor Dr. Kennedy Gaston, Secretary General of ALCO. Honorable Professor Ibrahim H. Jema, Chief Justice of Tanzania. Honorable Omari O. Makere, Chief Justice, Revolutionary Government of Zanzibar. His Excellency Judge Iwasawa Yuji, International Court of Justice. Honorable Judges, Permanent Secretaries, Deputy Permanent Secretaries, Registrars, Prosecutors, and Advocates. Excellency, gentlemen, good evening. How are you this journey? It is my great pleasure to host a reception this evening and honor His Excellency Judge Iwasawa Yuji, Justice, on the occasion of the 58th annual session of the Asian African Legal Consultative Organization, ALCO. I would especially like to pay my enormous respect to ALCO for its great contribution in development of the international law and enhancement of the rule of law, not only to the Asia-Africa regions, but also in the international community. Allow me also to use this avenue to congratulate Professor Dr. Gaston, ALCO Secretary General, for his recent appointment as ambassador by His Excellency Dr. John Pombe Joseph Magufuli. I was told that This year's annual session picks up some important topics in international law, including cyberspace, BBNJ, marine, biological diversity beyond areas of national jurisdiction, peaceful settlement of disputes, and so on. Enhancing the rule of law is one of the main pillars of Japan's foreign policy. With that thing, providing contributions in personnel in the area of international law is quite important. For this, we are proud to have such an excellent specialist of international law like Judge Iwasawa, who has been working hard to further promote the rule of law in the world. Japan would like to continue working closely with you all, the participants of ALCO, and especially the host country of this year's annual session, the United Republic of Tanzania, as well as other stakeholders to promote diplomacy that places importance in universal values such as the rule of law and the basic human rights. So we strongly support activities of ALCO. Ladies and gentlemen, Judge Iwasawa, who is visiting from Hague to attend the annual assembly and to be with us this evening, was an active academician in international law and was the chairperson of the United Nations Human Rights Committee before his appointment as a judge to the International Court of Justice. I wish to invite you all to pick and read Judge Iwasawa's curriculum vitae and transcripts his lecture at the Hague Academy by the door for your reference. Please take an advantage of this rare opportunity to engage in interesting discussions with Judge Iwasawa today. I must add that Judge Iwasawa, incumbent ICJ judge, is running for the re-election of the ICJ judges to be held at the United Nations General Assembly and the Security Council in New York in autumn 2020 next year. Now, kindly allow me to invite him to the podium to make some remarks and tell us his goals and ambitions. Thank you. Asanteni sana kwa kunisikiliza. So, please.
Thank you, Ambassador Goto, for your kind introduction. Honorable His Excellency Augustine Mahiga, distinguished guests, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. This is the first time that I attend the annual session of the ALCO. I had a chance to attend as an observer about 20 years ago, but unfortunately my schedule didn't allow it at the time. As a scholar of international law, I have always been interested in your work, in the work of the ALCO. I'm very pleased that my wish to attend the annual session of the ALCO has been finally materialized. I have often had an honor to meet the Secretary General of the ALCO in Geneva, and most recently I met His Excellency Professor Galston in Manila only 2 months ago. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, since I joined the court last year, I've been involved in 6 cases. It's my great honor that I am able to contribute to the preparation of judgment in these cases. Through my work for the court, I have reaffirmed the central role of international law in the Pacific settlement of disputes. I'm really honored that I can devote myself to the work of the court, and I would like to further contribute to it. From this perspective, I'm running for the 2020 election of the ICJ judges. The ICJ now has a number of cases on the docket with increasing variety. The increased caseload indicates the trust states have in the court. And in order to maintain this trust, it is very important for the court to continue to deliver judgments of the highest quality. I have devoted my entire professional career to international law. Before joining the court last year, I spent more than 40 years teaching and researching international law. The lecture I gave at the Hague Academy of International Law under the title of Domestic Application of International Law was published some time ago, and it's a substantial work. And indeed, it's my life work because I started to work on this topic when I began my academic career more than 40 years ago. And the lecture was based on was much expanded version of the book I had published 35 years ago. The 40 years I spent as an academic gave me a strong grounding in international law. I am publishing a textbook of international law early next year. Due to the ever-expanding and deepening of international law, it has become a major treatise of merely 800 pages. I regret that I had to write it in Japanese, and that therefore it's not accessible to many of you. But I really hope that it will be used in Japan as the authoritative textbook of international law. I also had a chance to gain broad experiences as a practitioner of international law. I was a member of the Human Rights Committee under the ICCPR for more than 10 years and served as its chairperson twice. I was a judge of the Administrative Tribunal in the Asian Development Bank in Manila, the Philippines. And currently, I'm a vice chair of the International Law Association and an associate member of the Institute of International Law. With these backgrounds and experiences, both as an academic and a practitioner in the field of international law, I believe I can contribute considerably to the work of the ICJ. The rule of law is a paramount principle to be protected and safeguarded. And ICJ has a pivotal role to promote the rule of law in the international society. I will continue to improve myself and do my best in discharging my duties as a judge of the International Court of Justice. I sincerely hope that you will lend your invaluable support to my re-election next year, and I thank you in advance for your support. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Justice Iwasawa. Now, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to a precious time where we are going to have a toast. This toast comes out of a Japanese sake, or Japanese rice wine, which is an essential component of washoku, Japanese cuisine, which is now registered on UNESCO's Intangible Cultural Property list. Sake has also earned a solid reputation among foodies outside of Japan. Today, we are privileged to have a special selection of sake from Japan, and I'm honored now to invite to the podium His Excellency Professor Dr. Gaston Kennedy to lead us to the toast. Professor, karibu.
Excellency Ambassador Dr. Mahiga, the Minister for Constitution and Legal Affairs, United Republic of Tanzania, His Excellency Mr. Goto Shinichi, the Ambassador of Japan to the United Republic of Tanzania, His Excellency Mr. Judge Yuji Iwasawa, Judge, International Court of Justice, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen. I was told that if you are in the United States of America, you must begin your speech by cracking a joke. But I also told that if you are in Japan, usually you must begin the speech by an apology. I therefore wish to apologize that I missed a few minutes when this event had started. Respected dignitaries, as we come to an end of a hectic day of a plenary, I am indeed happy that all of us have assembled for the reception hosted by His Excellency Mr. Goto Shinichi, the Ambassador of Japan to the United Republic of Tanzania, in the honor of His Excellency Mr. Judge Iwasawa Yuji, Judge, International Court of Justice. I thank Japanese Ambassador for this goodwill gesture. Indeed, Japan has a rich tradition of hosting a customary reception almost every year during the annual sessions of ALCO. And again, today is no exception. It is heartening that this tradition is continuing with the elegance. And Japan has always been a strong supporter of ALCO in all matters substantive and administrative, and I hope this relationship will strengthen and will be strengthened in the future. Since I'm also conscious of the reality that all of us have assembled here after a hard work's day, and therefore I choose not to say more, but simply to proceed to propose a toast for the reception. However, I think it will not be quite fair for me not to say a word or two on His Excellency Judge Iwasawa Yuji. I have had opportunity to hear him presenting papers at various academic and practitioners' fora. I can only attest that Judge Iwasawa Yuji is a candid, strong, and well-grounded expert of international law. I have no doubt that the respective members will see the need to render their support in your re-election next year for the post of the judge at International Court of Justice. I wish you all the best. I once again welcome all of you and wish you a wonderful evening in the best tradition of Japanese hospitality. And as has been stated, sake will be served. And I must say, I always enjoy to have sake. All the time, whenever I have opportunity to be in Japan, I have had very much appreciated the Japanese hospitality and opportunity to have a sake. With this note, it's now my honor to propose a toast, as it has been so asked by me. Thank you. Let's raise our glass for the good support of Japan to ALCO, but also for the re-election of Judge Iwasawa as a judge of International Court of Justice. Prost.
Piga picha hapo ambayo inachukua na wale wote kule kutoka huku nikiona. Let me take this opportunity to thank so thank you all for the toast. I hope you have enjoyed Japanese sake. Japanese sake will continue to be served from this side, so please feel free anytime to continue taking a glass and enjoy the taste. And now, Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the Ambassador of Japan, His Excellency Shinichi Goto, wishes to invite you all for dinner. The food is ready. Please let us all enjoy the dish. Karibuni sana.